ever asked or wondered what's in my clothes? Apart from the obvious material, I'm not talking cotton, silk or wool. I'm talking petroleum, carbon. Did you know that most fashion is made with fossil fuels containing carbon, which, as most of us already know, is seriously damaging to our environment? The fashion industry, in fact, is said to account for about 10% of global carbon emissions and is thought to be more polluting than both the aviation industry and shipping combined. But when was the last time you asked what's in your clothes, who made them, and how they might affect the planet? How do you know that what you're wearing right now isn't fueling long-term damage to the environment or employing unethical labour? In recent years, polyester pipped cotton to the post as the world's most popular textile. But I wonder if it would be as popular if people really knew how it was made. So what makes polyester so problematic, you ask? Most people are shocked when they find out that polyester and other synthetic fibres are made from petroleum-based products and can take hundreds of years to decompose. They can be melted down, reshaped and reformed because they're thermoplastic. Around 70 million barrels of oil a year are used to make polyester fibres in our clothes. It was in fact a chemical company, not a fashion brand, a chemical company called DuPont that ensured its rise to popularity since its inception in the 1950s. Globally, we make about 150 billion pieces of clothing a year. That's enough clothes to dress the world 18 times over. And 60% of them are polyester. Given the problematic nature of the material, why do we continue to use it at scale? Because the brands love it. It's cheap to make and it's fast to turn around. Simply put, it's profits over people and planet. Add to that our insatiable appetite for consuming fast fashion. High street chains are clambering over themselves and churning out trends at a rate like never before. Some brands openly admit to having 52 seasons a year. That's a new season every week. They make so much stuff that they can't get rid of it fast enough. So they create marketing gimmicks like Black Friday and seasonal sales to make sure that you keep buying at insane speeds. And if there is leftover stock, which there is plenty of, they will simply get incinerated, shred, or dumped. As for the clothes we own, where do they end up when we're done with them? Well, a large clue is that every second about one garbage truckload worth of clothing is dumped into landfill. That's every second. So in the time that you've been listening to me, we've dumped about 300 truckloads of clothes into landfill across the world. So who's responsible for this vicious cycle of wanting more, making more, buying more and dumping more? Why do most people not know about what they are wearing? Because the brands don't want you to know, but also because you never asked. At Fashion Revolution, we want to change that. We're calling for more transparency and accountability from our makers. Think about it. When I look into my clothes labels, I see a fancy QR code leading me to a website so that I can buy more. But there's no mention of petrochemicals, carbon, or microplastics that they contain, or any other details of their labour's working conditions. I also get information about how to wash my clothes, but nothing about how much microplastics it bleeds every time I do. And that's a problem, because 35% of ocean microplastics come from the fashion industry. But what if I told you that we can do everything in our power to turn this around? Start with your closet. Remind yourself that the most sustainable item of clothing is the one that you're already wearing and the one that exists in your wardrobe. Celebrate repeat wearing. Stop Just stop buying things that you don't need. Organise or be part of a clothes swap in your neighbourhood. There's a certain charm in exchanging pre-loved items of clothing that carry their own legacy and story, different from that of its makers. Nurture your curiosity and find out more about your clothes. Demand to know what's in your clothes, who made them and under what conditions. It's our small acts of resistance that are going to eventually be the tipping point for big fashion brands to take to more sustainable and compassionate ways of making. You, as a consumer, have the power to reimagine the way the fashion industry functions. And it can all start by asking one simple question. What's in my clothes?